All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Tone Vays. What a crazy, hectic day. Motorists should be jumping on with me. And I want to talk about GameStop. But look, this is going to be an interesting conversation because I don't read this nonsense in the news. I look at the stock and I see what's going on, and it doesn't take me very long to come to conclusions on this shit. And I am right 99% of the time, which is way more than most people. So we're going to talk about GameStop. And I am the ultimate contrarian. So I send out a tweet and people are upset over my tweet. And people are like, Tone, you are trolling the wrong side. Even my friend said that. And my answer is, I'm with Wall Street on this. I'm not with Main Street. I am on Wall Street side here. And not because I'm ex-Wall Street, is because the retail investors are idiots. And they're not, well, ironically, they're not Robin Hoods like they think they are. And they're using the Robinhood app, which is ironic. And we're gonna talk about it. I do need someone on the stream to have a dialogue with that is gonna tell me the details of the GME thing, and then I'll get to troll the retail investors some more. And they deserve to get wrecked on this one. Oh no, I got friends that bought in too. I mean, it's a fucking shit coin. The only outcome is getting lucky or getting wrecked. There is no middle ground. This is why I made it very clear yesterday. Stay the fuck away from GameStop. You do not control the market. You have two outcomes. If you are trading GameStop, you have two outcomes. You get lucky or you get wrecked. You can't even risk manage this trade. It is impossible to risk manage. I laughed at this thing all week long because it was stupid. And now you are realizing the outcome of stupid. So I'm going to quote Saifedean here. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. This applies to both hedge funds that got wrecked and the retail investors that tried to wreck those hedge funds. The hedge funds fought back and they wrecked the retail investors. This is why there are financial instruments that you stay the fuck away from. Whether you are a retail investor, an accredited investor, there's always a guy that is smarter than you and has more money than you. So if you're going to play a game of chicken in the financial markets, you better play that game with someone that has less money than you, and you know for a fact is dumber than you, and you know for a fact has less, government resources at their disposal to fuck you up. Unless you know for a fact you have the advantage in all three of those arenas, you want to stay the fuck away from these games of chicken in the financial markets, because you are going to be the one getting wrecked. And then you're going to bitch and moan and complain and scream how the world is against you. The world is not against you, okay? If you are in a little rowboat and you're going to play chicken with a cruise ship and then the cruise ship kills you, no, the world is not against you. You're a fucking idiot. What? You people are just, wow. I couldn't care less about GameStop. I never cared about GameStop. I never had interest in profiting from GameStop on the way up or on the way down. I know where I make my money. I know what I'm good at. I don't see GameStop as a missed opportunity. I see me ignoring GameStop as a blessing. I'm not crying on my desk right now because my position lost 75% in 1 hour. Okay? Because that's what happened to a lot of people this morning. Why the hell would I be angry at that? Why on earth would I be angry at missing out on losing 75% of my money? I even told friends of mine not to fuck with this. I have no interest in the action of failing companies, just like I have no interest in the action of shit coins. These are shit coins. I do want to talk some specifics, but look, I need someone to join me on this stream that knows the specifics of the GameStop situation. And we can go through it piece by piece, and I will explain why the retail investors are idiots. And I'm with Wall Street on this one. But unless someone can show me some details otherwise. Oh, we got motorist here. Oh, dude, no, you're outside. You're out of your computer. Oh, no, we got Bernoulli. No, Bernoulli, no, I don't want to. I can't deal with like outdoor and like noise and shit unless you're fully up to date with the GameStop and you can have good audio. Might have to let you go.
Yeah, okay, I'll go. Sorry.
Are you up to date fully with GameStop?
I mean, I know the general story, and I know I know it went up to like almost $400 and it dropped like 75% in an hour this morning.
Right. Well, if people are like, why is Tone pissed off? I'm pissed off at stupid people that think that you can play chicken with financial markets and it's okay. I lost your audio.
Yeah, well,
oh, you're good.
I mean, shit coins, you know.
Yeah. All right. So let's look at some charts. Well, I'm gonna look at the chart of Bitcoin and we'll get back to GameStop stupidity. Bitcoin should be fine. All right. So let me go to screen share. We'll glance at the price of Bitcoin and then we'll get back to talking about the stupidity of GameStop. Okay, so here's the daily chart. Nope, weekly chart. Look, we're still on a second consecutive MRI top, but like I said, I am leaning bullish here for no other reason than mostly fundamental analysis. Fundamental analysis is keeping me bullish, even though the technical analysis is a little bit questionable. I am usually a technical analyst trader 90% of the time. It is very rare I let the fundamentals get in front of my technicals. And at the moment, my fundamentals are a little bit ahead of my technicals. So due to fundamental reasons, I'm using the wrong, no, I'm good, I'm good. So due to fundamental reasons, I am clinging to the bullish side here. I love how we bounced off the moving average on a weekly scale. This is the 10-minute scale, but it should be, this is the daily scale, sorry. Bounced off of the moving average on a daily scale. My bad, I'm going all over my, I'm gonna ban this guy called The Man because I'm tired of seeing the same comment over and over. Because he's just copying and pasting it. If you're gonna copy and paste the same comment, and I already said it's a dumb comment, you get hidden from the channel. Well, I'll put him in timeout because I think I know who that is, and he's not normally a troll. Okay, so look, this is a bullish bounce off the moving average. on a small time scale. By the way, this is that 10-minute trade I called yesterday. And granted, it did come all the way back down to the entry levels. But before it did that, it certainly went up pretty damn far. It made yet another, I'm just going to take this line. I want to do this. It made yet another higher low, and we're still trending up. So I don't really see a big problem here. I'm going to go to the 1 hour chart. I'm going to like just delete these lines because they're irrelevant now. And I'm not really sure why this is up there. Let's see. Remember, my bullish zone has been significantly lowered. We are getting close to the top of this triangle. The top of this triangle is going to be very, very key. Very key. Once we get to the top of this triangle, we'll get to reevaluate. If we get rejected at the top of this triangle and come back down, first of all, this line is going to move again down here to become significantly bullish. That's the good news. The bad news, if we get rejected by this triangle and we come back down, I will exit all my I will no longer be bullish fundamentally. Technicals will take over. I'll still be bullish fundamentally, but technicals will completely take over. All right. Hey, Bernoulli, you still with me? I guess just me.
I am still here.
Oh, you're still with me. Okay. I mean, you're on a phone, so I don't know if you can compile any good questions from.
Yeah, I was just getting set up here. I will grab questions.
If Fibbo wants to come on, I think Fibbo is in here. So, well, there's no more Bitcoin talk. I mean, this is pretty much it. We can talk about GameStop. And, but right now we're just watching this triangle. And once we can break above this area, 34.5, I think Bitcoin's going to rip to the upside. GBTC is doing okay. Premium is going back up. Ethereum doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Still Ethereum. Nope, doesn't matter. Gold is irrelevant. It's not moving anywhere. S&P rallied hard today. Still bullish on the S&P. And here's GameStop. Here's the 1 hour chart of GameStop. Here's what I need someone to explain to me. What I need someone to explain to me is, here's a 1 hour chart of GameStop. Let's go to the daily chart. Here's a daily chart of GameStop. Can someone explain to me why a stock that has been trading under $40 for the last decade and under $5 for the last 3 years should be worth $500 a share? Can someone please explain that to me? Unless you can explain that to me, your argument as to Wall Street being evil and retail investors being smart is very, very weak. Motorist, have you seen anyone explain why the value of, we have millions of people trying to explain why Tesla's valuation and the price of Tesla stock is too expensive, but for being at whatever it is, $1,000 right now. Or I heard this like, a year ago when Tesla was like $20, that the value that Tesla is overvalued. Tesla shouldn't be worth $20, and then it goes to like 3,000, right? But can someone explain to me why GameStop, a company that in its heyday was worth $50 a share in its heyday of 2013, when those stores were popular. In an environment where no one can go into their stores because of COVID, and the stock has been $5 for years, the valuation of that company is $500 a share, and that is low, and it should be worth $8,000 a share. Can someone please make a rational argument for this?
Well, Tone, if there's a rational reason why Ethereum is worth $150 billion, I can probably make a much better argument that GameStop is a $150 billion company than I can Ethereum. At least GameStop has a business. They have stores. They actually have something they're doing. So I guess that would be the kind of the weasel answer to it.
I can make a much better argument for Ethereum.
Okay. Well,
you see, because GameStop is a regulated company and GameStop has stores and GameStop actually shows their finances openly, it is a lot easier to value the price of GameStop, and professionals, not Wall Street bets, but professionals have valued the price of GameStop. Professionals have been valuing the price of GameStop for how many years? 20 years. Professionals have been valuing the price of GameStop. It is very, very known what the value of GameStop is. So there is no speculation on GameStop potentially changing the world like Tesla. See, the reason why Tesla stock is so expensive is because no one is betting on what Tesla will do next month. Everyone is betting on what Tesla will do in a decade. So unless you're going to make the argument that somehow GameStop is going to change the world over the next decade, that's the only way this valuation is real. So the reason why I can make this argument for Ethereum is because people are so dumb on Ethereum, because Ethereum has zero transparency. No one knows what's going on. Everyone thinks that Ethereum has a future, but it doesn't. But with GameStop, this is it's known. These are known public metrics. But in Ethereum, you have all these people buying into Ethereum that believe in Ethereum, but they're wrong because they don't understand Ethereum. But I can certainly make an argument that it's possible for Ethereum to be worth $10,000 a token because of the stupidity of people not understanding Ethereum. Everyone understands GameStop. There's no mystery in the underlying of GameStop. You know exactly what it is. It's a store where you walk in and you buy video games. Like there's no there's no Vitalik coming out. We have the secret code and we're gonna get rid of mining. Okay. So next, go ahead, motorist.
Sure thing. So I know Bernoulli's sending us some questions, but we can have a dialogue about this for a bit because I have a lot to say on the topic. I've been tweeting about it all morning.
Okay, great.
But yeah, so I don't need to explain to you what a short squeeze is. You can probably explain to me better than I can explain to you what a short squeeze is. So you know what a short squeeze is. I don't need to explain that to you. So
no, but I might have to explain that to the audience.
Sure. So what happened is that there's this subreddit called, Wall Street Bets, where a number of retail investors, whatever you want to call them, autistic people, doesn't really matter, 11-year-olds, although I'm 99% sure there's no 11-year-olds doing this. But basically, there's this subreddit called R Wall Street Bets where people have identified certain stocks that have incredibly high short interest. And what they've noticed is that the short interest is greater than the actual float. So if these hedge funds or whoever it is that's shorting the stock, which, by the way, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you probably know this better than I do, is against the law for them to have these naked shorts where they don't have the stock to cover it. It's against the law, but no one actually enforces this law. So what these guys are doing on Wall Street Bets is basically identifying these and then piling into it using usually Robinhood. But Robinhood actually shut down trading, and so did a few other brokerages. A few bigger brokerages also shut down trading on GME and Nokia, and a few other stocks. If you're in a position, you can close your position, but you can't start a new position, basically.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up some definitions here. Look, I have not, look, my understanding, I've traded markets, I know markets. When you say that one company had 140% short of all the shares of a company, where is the evidence for this?
Well, you could pull up any brokerage account and it'll tell you what the short interest is. Usually it's not up to date information. Usually it's a few months old, but you can pull up, you can maybe even, I'm not sure, but maybe even Yahoo Finance can do it. I know I can do it on my brokerage. On my brokerage, it's a few months old.
So here's how it's supposed to work, right? Now, if you say this is against the law, why isn't the law being enforced?
Because they don't care to enforce it, or it's difficult to enforce, or it's impossible, or it's too.
It's going to be impossible, right?
Consuming. Pardon?
Yeah. It shouldn't be impossible. The way a stock gets shorted is you have to borrow the stock from someone. You have to borrow the stock from someone. You're paying them interest to borrow it, and the person you're borrowing it from is obviously long the stock. You borrow it from that person, and you now have stock that you borrowed that you can now sell into the open market. When you sell that stock in the open market, someone else has to buy it from you. Okay. So Bernoulli, you still with us?
Yes.
Okay. So let's say Bernoulli is holding 100 shares of GameStop. Okay. And I'm a hedge fund and I want to short. Let's say I want to short 50 shares of GameStop, right? So I borrow 50 and I go to Bernoulli. I'm like, hey man, can I borrow 50 shares of your stock and I will pay you interest on borrowing your stock? This is what a broker does. And Bernoulli says, yeah, sure. I'm just holding the stock. I don't mind earning some interest. You can borrow my stock. I borrow his stock. I then short it. But in order for me to short it, I need to find another buyer. So motorist, you want to buy 50 shares of stock. So you're going to buy my 50 shares that I borrowed from Bernoulli. So what happens now? Now there are 150 shares long the stock and 50 shares short. Okay. Now, in a short squeeze, if the stock starts to go up too much, right? Because when you're holding a stock, Bernoulli is now holding 50 shares long. Patrick is now holding, Bernoulli is holding 100 shares long, and Patrick is holding 50 shares long. Bernoulli is making an additional money, or we can even do the whole 100. Let's say I borrowed the entire 100 from Bernoulli, and Patrick bought my entire 100. Let's do that. Bernoulli is 100 shares long. Patrick is 100 shares long. I am 100 shares short. Bernoulli gets to make some interest that I pay him. Okay. Now, when you're long a stock for both Bernoulli and Patrick, let's say the value of the stock was $10 and they have 100 shares each. 100 shares times $10 is $1,000. So their risk is $1,000 each. In the worst case scenario, Patrick loses 1,000 and Bernoulli loses 1,000. Stock goes to zero, okay, from $10 and 100 shares. But my risk is unlimited because if the stock goes to $1,000, I am 100 shares short. 100 shares short times $1,000, I am down on paper $100,000. And the broker that I did it with knows my financial position. they know how big of a fund I am. And if I'm some Joe Schmo Tone Vays that doesn't have $100,000 in my brokerage account, they're going to immediately notify me and say, you better add some cash to your brokerage account, or you better, sell some other stock, or we're going to liquidate your position. That's a short squeeze. So they would have to immediately liquidate my position. But because I'm short, to liquidate my position, they have to buy the stock. They have to buy it back from Patrick. Okay? So in a short play, liquidating your position means buying the stock back. This is why in a short squeeze, the prices skyrocket because now everyone is buying. Okay? So that's what a short squeeze is. But as long as I have capital, as long as I have credit with the broker, as long as I immediately do a wire transfer of $100,000, they're okay keeping my short position on the books. Now, that's the concept of shorting. Now, when someone says this stock is shorted over 100%, as a definition, I am not sure what that means. And everyone is now an expert on shorting and short squeezes, and no one will do a great job explaining what it means to be 100% short the stock. Because in the example I just gave, if it's done legally, of course, you can never be that short the stock. Now, if we'll go to Wikipedia, Investopedia, sorry. The quick answer is that the amount of shares shorted can actually exceed 50% of the float of the company. Now, in the example that I just gave, if the stock only has 100 shares and I am short 100 shares, then there are 200 shares long, which means that it's 50% of the company, okay, is being shorted. But let's read through and see what Investopedia says, and then we'll go through it. The percentage of shares shorted compared to the float is referred to as the short interest. We can click on that as well, and we can show people what that means. It is calculated by taking the total amount of shares shorted and dividing it by the total amount of shares available to trade. Okay. In this article, we'll review the calculation in more detail, plus we'll discuss what it means to invest when a percentage of a company's float is shorted. Key takeaways, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so they're going to go through a very similar example. So example of heavily shorted stock. While it's rare for a stock to have a short interest greater than 50%, it does happen. Let's see. I mean, I've never run into it, so let's see what's going on. This was the case for Peloton. Now, Peloton does have a company. That's those exercise machines, right? On February 28, 2020, when it had around 27 million shares shorted compared to a float of around 42 million, which gave the company a short interest of approximately 64%. When a company's short interest is high, above 40%, it means a large portion of the investors in the company are hoping the shares will go down in value. Okay, then they give you the short squeeze. What does short interest signify? Okay, so they're not actually explaining how that happens. So I would love to know how that happens, okay? Because as I just explained, that's not how proper shorting works. So what that probably means, and I am gonna go out on a limb here, that brokers allowed clients with a big backing to short shares of stock that they didn't actually own, that they didn't actually borrow. Hey, we're going through GameStop.
What's up, people? Back. I'm back.
Yeah, that's the issue. They were allowing them to short without actually borrowing the shares. And so it was a pure naked short, because naked short probably has 2 or 3 different meanings, but in this case, it was actual naked short.
Okay, so
Tone, real quick. I pulled up GME, and it says short interest 121%, 122% as of January 15th of this year. So
okay.
121%,
Well,
122%.
let's talk about it. I thought I saw. Can you send me a link to that?
It's in my brokerage account. I couldn't pull it up on Yahoo Finance, but it's in the brokerage account when I pull up GME on my brokerage.
Okay, how about we do this?
Maybe I could take. I could do a screenshot. Send you a screenshot.
Short.
As long as you don't share it publicly. I don't know.
No, I'm not. No, don't do that then. Short interest. GameStop, and I'm gonna go to images. I'm sure it's there. Okay.
Also, another thing, the percent held by institutions is 117%. So I'm not even sure. So they own more shares. I guess that has to do with the shorting. I'm not sure. Than actually exists institutions like hedge funds.
What's the stock price? I need the short interest. Well, in any case, here's the thing. Here's the. I'm gonna go to my Twitter here. Notifications.
What's up, Erica?
Hey, how are you, Bitcoin motorist?
Look,
Hey.
my position is very, very simple. Okay, if you're doing something illegal, you need to be held accountable. Now, Wall Street Bets decided to take matters into their own hands and destroy these hedge funds. Now, this is the same argument that I gave. It was funny. I had this big debate with the lawyers, right? So when we were talking about the Iran situation, and I said, well, Iranian government need to do whatever they can for the Iranian people, and they will find a way to get around sanctions. This is their duty. And one of the lawyers was arguing with me. He's like, no, Iran cannot do that because they have to abide by American sanctions. And I'm like, no, the government of Iran has a duty to its Iranian people to get around the sanctions. Now, the Iranian people can vote in a different government that could potentially be on better relations with the US. But as long as that's the current government, it's their duty. So look, if Wall Street Bets decides to take matters into their own hands and go after Wall Street is going to take matters into their own hands to go after them.
Which they did today.
And now everyone is upset. Look, if you're going to walk up to someone with a gun and you're going to smack them in the face, you're going to face consequences. Whether that someone with a gun is a gang member, a police officer, I know they're one and the same for some people, or just a good Samaritan, okay? You're going to walk up to someone in a gun, you're going to punch him in the face. Maybe you'll get away with one punch, but you ain't getting away with a second one after he warns you, okay? So I'm going to go back to Saifedean's quote. You're going to play stupid games, you're going to win stupid prizes. So let's go back to my tweet that people seem to dislike. What I made very, very clear yesterday to stay the fuck away from this stock. I also said the SEC is going to shut this down. The SEC didn't shut it down because they're too slow. Who shut it down? Robinhood shut it down. Okay. Why did Robinhood shut it down? Because Robinhood wants to stay in business. The problem is that a lot of these people, as you can see from Wall Street Bets, some of the people, look, I know some of the people on Robinhood are underage trading because they use their parents' account to KYC. And they think they're professional traders. And right now, a lot of them went long. Well, I think this is today, right? This is today, actually. A lot of them went long last night, thinking that they're geniuses. And this morning, they did not get a chance to get out. and they lost 75% of their money. Okay. Do I feel sorry for these people? I don't. I really don't. Okay. I warned yesterday that to stay the fuck away from it. If you're going to spend all your money on a lottery ticket, or you're going to go to a casino and put all your money on, whatever, number 7, and it doesn't come up 7 and you lost all your money, I don't want to hear you crying. But if you're going to go to a roulette table and you're going to say, hey, Tone, I'm about to put my life savings on 7. And I say, dude, you're an idiot. What are you doing? Don't do that. And I stop you from doing it. And then it actually comes up 7. You're going to be mad at me for not, doing 30x on your life savings. But the smart bet was to stay the fuck away from it. So if you're going to play stupid games against Wall Street, you're going to earn your stupid prize of losing 75% of the money.
Well, they may have won the battle, but the war is not over. The Wall Street bets guys aren't going away. They're not going home and disappearing. They're going to keep at it. So they're going to find some other way.
And that's fine. My job, I don't give a shit about Wall Street bets. I have one responsibility. My only responsibility is to educate the people that are watching this stream, whether you agree with this or not. And the only thing I've said about GameStop since the moment I found out about GameStop is stay the fuck away from this shitcoin. This is no different than pumping some scam on a shitcoin exchange. There is no difference here. The company is crap. Because the company is crap. Because the company is crap, a lot of hedge funds were shorting it. They're not shorting it to destroy the company. Hedge funds aren't like, we don't like video games, we're going to destroy them. Okay. If the company performed well, its stock would rise and the hedge funds that shorted it would lose money, right? The stock was not $5 because everyone shorted it. The stock was $5 because the company has no future. This is what people don't understand, right? Gold is not being suppressed to $2,000. The price of gold is $2,000 because that's what gold's worth right now. It's worth $2,000. Okay. There is no like 40-year conspiracy to hold the price of gold down. Gold's worth $2,000 because gold is actually useless right now. Thank God for Bitcoin. All right.
It's not being manipulated, but then when these guys figure out a way to make money off of it, suddenly it's a problem. Now it's being manipulated when the little guys figuring out a way to screw with the system. They're saying they've suspended trading for market manipulation and to protect the consumer. And the consumer is like, I don't need to be protected. I'm trying to buy this stock.
But why are you trying to buy this stock?
I don't disagree with what you're saying. I'm not saying that it's a $45 billion company. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have said anything you said. You said exactly the right thing yesterday. You said stay the fuck away from it, and you were 100% right. Even with your tweet today, I didn't necessarily disagree with what you said in your tweet, even though you got shit for it. Well, the only thing I'm saying is that this is the same revolution. This is the Bitcoin revolution. It's not about GameStop. It's about the internet and about people coordinating over all sorts of time and space. A bunch of small time players coordinating together and figuring out what to do. And we didn't have that in the 1980s. There was no way to do that in the 1980s. There was no way to coordinate a large group of retail investors. To me, it's not even, the issue isn't even GameStop. The issue is this is a new paradigm. There's a new way of thinking. And they're going to figure out a way to get around this. They're going to go to another brokerage or they're going to make a brokerage. Or you know what your nightmare is? They're going to come up with a fucking tokenized security system. And they're going to say, see, this is why we need tokenized securities, because Robinhood shut us down. And they're going to do it. And they may get wrecked with it because tokenized securities are stupid. I'd much rather trade on a centralized brokerage. But somebody's going to figure out a solution to this.
Okay, so we have another comment. Tone, you spend money on a plane ticket to go storm. I didn't go storm the Capitol. I went there to, protest against election fraud. I had no intention of storming the Capitol. I videotaped the storming of the Capitol, but I did not participate in the storming of the Capitol because I don't like to break the law. These dudes just tossed a few hundo to GME as protest also. They knew going in it was for protest. But a few initial guys did. But how many people bought GameStop yesterday because to profit, right? See, here is the thing. And I agree with, look, two wrongs don't necessarily make a right, okay? Now, was it wrong for exchanges to allow naked short selling so that a company is shorted for more than 50% interest? Of course it's wrong, and it shouldn't happen. And the reason why I went to the Capitol is to get better people in office to try and create a better rule of law. Okay? If you think, we're not going to get too political here, but trust me, a politician, a politician bought by China ain't going to make better regulation. Okay? Trump was actually trying to clean up the swamp, and this is part of cleaning up the swamp. Okay? So the reason why I went to the Capitol is to put better people in office to make better laws for rule of law. Now, is Robinhood, do I agree with Robinhood for preventing retail traders from trading GameStop? The answer is yes. Of course I agree with Robinhood. And the reason I agree with Robinhood is because whoever started trading GameStop in the last 2 days will get wrecked. So Robinhood does have a responsibility to a bunch of 16-year-olds trading under their parents' KYC, not to allow them to trade this, because they are not trading it because they know how to trade. They are trading it because they are reading blogs like Wall Street Bets. They are trading it because they are in a Discord group. They are trading it because of FOMO. So in a free market, yes, they should be allowed to do it. But this is not a free market. It's a regulated market. And one of the
Robinhood. It's not just Robinhood. Other bigger brokerages have actually done this.
Of course. No, I'm just using Robinhood as an example. Yeah, it's all the brokers, right? So they now see what's happening. Like, again, this is going back to fake Zoom. Like, if you just do a search here on ZOOM stock, hopefully my tweets will show up. Look, SEC, they won't show up. I can Google for it. We can do, I don't want to Google there though. So we can do Tone Vays, Twitter, ZOOM, ZM. Okay. Look, so many dumb people were treating ZOOM stock as Zoom stock. This is Zoom. This was ZOOM. Eventually, the SEC came in and shut this shit down because retail investors are generally dumb and they do stupid shit. Okay. And therefore, the SEC eventually came in, freaking like what, months too late? Like look what fake Zoom did. It went up 180,000%, and I think it even went higher. I think it went to $20 before it got shut down. It went ridiculously high. Okay, and that was only it went from sub penny to like $20 before they shut it down. Okay, look, should Wall Street be allowed to be short a company more than 50%? The answer is no, they should not be, right? But, and do I fault Wall Street Bets for trying to wreck a hedge fund? No, they wrecked a couple of hedge funds. But at this point in the game, in the last 3 days, it was no longer a statement. See, this right here, if you go to the daily chart, this here, this, so as of January 13th, probably until January 22nd, until Friday, this was a statement to Wall Street, to the regulators, to the brokers that, look, start playing by the fucking rules. But this is dumb retail traders trying to get rich. Do you guys see the difference? Like, or is this too high level of a discussion? This is a statement. If you were not in the statement, if you were not, putting your money at risk, making a statement here, you are now piggybacking on the statement. This is the, let's do an analogy with a political discussion. The statement was going to Washington, D.C. with millions of other people, where the mainstream media was saying 2,000 showed up. The statement is going to Washington, D.C. and making your presence felt. And then this last part is the unnecessary storming of the Capitol. So this is where people get hurt on both sides. This is where law enforcement gets hurt. Law enforcement shoots people. More of our liberties get destroyed. Good people end up in prison for 20 years because they walked into the Capitol, because everybody else walked into the Capitol and ended up on a fucking shit list. This is where lives get ruined. Do you guys see the goddamn difference between a statement to clean up the system and lives getting ruined? Patrick?
It's easier. So I agree with you on one thing. I think I said this last night to a friend of mine, and she thought it was pretty controversial, but I think it's correct. The storming of the Capitol, even though the people who did that, you can vilify them or whatever, they were bad people, I don't really care. Whatever you say about them, the storming of the Capitol is the same thing. It's a group of people organizing online and figuring out doing something to overpower the system. And the difference between the storming of the Capitol and this is that with the storming of the Capitol, the media was successfully able to vilify those people and say, oh, those guys are all assholes. But with this one, it seems like, especially with them shutting down buying, now people who are just like, small time retail, they're not part of Wall Street, but it's like, oh, maybe I'll throw a few bucks on, Nokia or whatever. And the thing is, it's like, they're not these same people that were, it's like the narrative is on the Wall Street bets side. Now you're proving their point. You're proving that the system is rigged against. So they're saying the system is rigged against us. And now what they did is they shut down trading. So you've just proved their point by doing that. They have the narrative on their side. It doesn't matter. You could be saying everything 100% correctly, but that's not what the narrative is. Narrative is the big guys were losing, so they had to cheat to try to win. That's what the narrative is now.
But again, you are assuming, is there evidence that a hedge fund forced the broker to do it, or the broker did it on his own?
I don't think there's any evidence, but I mean, you know this better than I do, but I believe, what's the name? Melvin and
look, if I ran a brokerage, I would not participate in this. I would say, if you guys want to trade GameStop, after this day, after this shit happened, after this day, January 25th, I would have seized all trading of retail investors on my platform. I would allow only high net worth investors to do it. Prove to me that you have $1 million in capital and you can trade it. I would only limit trading to sophisticated people. If you are a millionaire and you want to put $1 million into GameStop at $400, be my guest. But if you are a guy that doesn't even have that's not even a patent day trader. And if you don't know what a patent day trader is, you should not be trading. A patent day trader is someone that has the ability to day trade. That's all it means. It has a requirement. It has a $25,000 minimum requirement in your brokerage trading account. I would cease all trading for non-patent day traders. Okay. So you better have at least 25 grand in your account. I would raise that. I would immediately put in new terms of service. When a stock, when we feel that a stock is being manipulated, and it doesn't matter if it's being manipulated by Wall Street or Wall Street bets, it doesn't matter. When we see unusual activity in a stock, we will only allow, you can exit your position if you're in a position, but we will not let you enter a new position in a stock that has unusual trading activity unless you have $100,000 in your account. That proves to me that you are at least a sophisticated person with money. I know a lot of people think that a guy with a $3,000 trading account should be treated as equals to a guy with $1 million trading account. And the answer is no, you are not equals. You are not an equal. If you have 3,000 in your trading account and you want to buy 10 shares of GameStop, you are not equal. You're not. The reason you're not equal is because if you actually, because your net worth does correlate to your, I'm going to use the word IQ level. It correlates. It doesn't mean that every smart person is rich. It doesn't mean that every rich person is smart. It doesn't mean that every broke person is dumb. It doesn't mean that, but it correlates. You know, if you look at if you put 100 of your friends and family in a room, there should be a correlation between how smart they are and how much money they have been able to earn and save throughout their life. Is this a controversial statement, motorist?
Not at all. I agree with that.
Right. So when you have a guy with a $3,000 trading account and you have a guy with $1 million trading account, the guy with $1 million trading account will be perceived as a more sophisticated, smarter investor.
So
okay.
This is leading to small-time investors not being able to buy retail stocks or individual stocks.
No,
this
is leading to small-time investors not being able to buy stocks that are clearly being fucked with. I don't even want to say the word manipulated because I don't want to use the word manipulated because they're just being fucked with. Okay. I like to.
The market has a solution for this. The owner of GameStop, the owners of GameStop can sell their shares. If they're overvalued, they can sell their shares and pocket the profit. So this is the market working. I think people are just panicking, thinking that the market is broken.
Well, that's what I said. That's what I said yesterday or the day before. If I was an owner of this stock, I would sell the fuck out of it, but they may not be allowed to. Regulation might be preventing them. You can't just sell 20 shares, 20% of a company as the owner of a company. There's a shit ton of paperwork involved. They can't just do it. Now, if I was them, I would sell options against my stock. I would profit in another way. I would lend my stock out for others to short it and charge them a shit ton of interest for it, right? There are other ways to make money from it. I'm not on the side of hedge funds here. I'm on the side of retail investors had no fucking business in this trade as of January 25th because they were going to get wrecked. I didn't know how they were going to get wrecked. I had no idea, but I knew they were going to get wrecked because this is straight up fuckery of a stock. And this stock has no valuation at this price. It can go to 1,000 and it can also go to a penny. And most people that are in here, they thought they won the lottery because they thought that nothing anybody can do to stop them. Okay. And the fact that AOC is on the side of broke people trying to win lottery tickets, it makes me even more on the side of the brokerages that shut this shit down. Again, there is a difference between trying to make a statement. I'm going to put a big circle here. There is a difference between trying to make a political statement of stop fucking with the small-time retail investor in the financial markets. That's this. And then you have this, which is you're an idiot if you think you're going to make money from this. Okay? You're literally gambling. It's worse than gambling. You're gambling on a roulette table, one number at a time. Okay? So no, I don't feel sorry for any retail investor that decided to get in on this, long or short, trying to make money. So no, I don't feel bad for you, because the other side, they fight back too.
Tone, so one of the things is that, I'm on the side, even that you disagree with me. I always say, look, a platform can remove whoever they want for whatever reason, even if I think the rules are stupid. So I was not all that, upset about them removing Trump, although
no, I was. This is not like removing Trump. This is not the same. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We disagree on that, but they shut down the Wall Street Bets Discord server for, get this, hate speech. Okay. So to me, that tells me that when they're using that kind of propaganda against this group, it's not because of hate speech. It's because they ticked off the wrong people. That's why they got shut down. It has nothing to do with the hate speech. It has to do with the stuff you're talking about. But the fact that they said, yeah, we had to shut down their server because they were, they used too many slurs or something.
Yeah, I mean, they had to find a reason. They may be able to justify that reason. I don't know. Look, if you were putting in $50 to make a statement, then sure, you're trying to make a political statement. But do you guys have any fucking idea how many people put in like their entire account thinking they're gonna get rich from like in one day? Okay, here's why this
morons.
Here's why this isn't the same as Trump being banned. Besides the fact that, again, not everyone is equal. People should have equal rights, but some people have earned some benefit of either the doubt or whatever. Okay, like for example, if you're throwing a party and 100 people came to your party, and all of a sudden 2 people got into a skirmish or a fight. And one of them is one of your best friends, and the other one is a guy you don't even know. Are you going to treat them equally? Of course not. Okay. But should they be treated equally? Probably. You don't know what happened, but they're not the same. So, first of all, Trump is not like every other American. Trump is the president of the United States. So, he should be treated with more respect because he is the president. Okay? I do give Joe Biden some shit, but that's because I believe he wasn't elected fairly. But I didn't give Obama shit, even though I wasn't a fan of Obama. I still respected him because I thought he won fairly. I didn't think Bush was all that bright, but I respected him because I thought he won fairly. Now, I don't respect Joe Biden because I don't think he won fairly. He cheated. Now, let's talk about this versus freedom of speech. The reason why people should not be banned from Twitter for their political opinions is because it violates the U.S. Constitution. The U.S. government needs to defend the people by the Constitution. So the U.S. government needs to step in and maybe start arresting some of these CEOs for violating your constitutional right to freedom of speech. Now, these platforms where you can present your speech can have clear rules on hate speech, on dangerous speech, where they can remove you for doing that, and then they have to justify it to the government that they removed you based on a very clear violation of their guideline. But political speech is not hate speech. It's political speech. And that should be protected under the Constitution. Now, you can try to make the argument that buying GameStop is political speech. I will be on the other side of that argument, okay? While I do believe that there should be free markets, I believe there should be regulated markets where everyone plays by the same rules. Now, clearly, Wall Street broke some rules by allowing a stock to have short interest of over 100%. Hell, they probably broke rules to allow the stock to have short interest of over 50%. Rules were broken. But what happened here, this coordinated plan was good at first, but then it became financially dangerous for retail investors. And as a brokerage, they do have a responsibility to protect the retail investor. It's part of their mandate. You can disagree with that mandate. You can disagree that Facebook and Twitter have rules on hate speech. You can make the argument that hate speech should be protected under the Constitution for free speech. You can make that argument, and you can try to get those rules removed from YouTube and Twitter and Facebook's, rules of service or term rules. Okay? You can try. You're probably going to fail, but you can try. Yeah, Patrick.
Your solution is worse than the problem. If I want to have a platform where I say no shitcoin talk, anybody who mentions Doge gets a warning, and if you mention Doge a second time, you're permanently banned. I don't want that person to appeal to the government and say, hold on a second, this is my free speech. I should be able to talk about Doge, for example. I don't want the government to decide what's okay and what's not. So I think
so now, but then why is it wrong for brokerages to not allow people to trade GameStop right now?
I mean, it's not wrong. It's just they're losing the narrative, and these guys aren't going to go away. They're going to figure out a way around from this. I mean, Bruce Fenton just tweeted today. He wants to hire Series 7 brokers, and he wants to hire developers. He's going to fix this problem right now. So who knows? Bruce Fenton's going to launch some platform to try
and how is he going to pay for it? With another shitcoin? I mean, come on.
I mean, that's the problem. We don't want that, right?
So, hey, look, there's no simple solution, right? You're right. Either you have, Patrick, there is a difference, right? There is a difference. If you have a small platform, the smaller your platform, the more anti-free speech you have the right to make it. The problem is when the platform gets to a point where it's almost like a utility. Okay? That's the problem. Twitter and YouTube, they're not small competing platforms for speech. They're almost like a utility. They're the only game in town. And they are so big that at that point, it is the government's job to protect your free speech. It's not the government's job to police your little blog. You can do whatever you want on your little blog. And who can and can't comment, your little Discord, you can and can't comment, right? But once that Discord gets to a certain critical mass, and there is no hard line on how big that critical mass is.
No, Section 230 does not make a distinction. So if I retweet something, I cannot be sued for it because I'm protected under Section 230, unless it's like child porn or something. But if it's like, let's say someone lied about someone and I retweet it, I can't be prosecuted for that libel. So Section 230, people think it only protects big companies. No, it protects everyone, every user.
I agree. But at some point, this platform becomes big enough to where it's the government's job to defend your freedom of speech on a platform. Now, we have the worst of both worlds. We have the government allowing the big tech media like Facebook and Twitter to censor people whenever they like. That's wrong. It needs to be the other way around. We also have the government being okay with shutting down or the other way around, right? Like Wall Street Bets wasn't that big, but they shut down the entire part, right? Now, did the government do that or did Reddit do that? Right?
I mean,
Is
yeah.
Reddit allowed to shut it down? Is Reddit big enough to allow you freedom of speech? Look, just like Robinhood, just like other brokers, this YouTube channel is meant to, contrary to trolls, is meant to protect the little investor. And the only way I can help protect the little investor is to tell the little investor not to fucking get involved with GameStop, which is what I said from the beginning.
I don't disagree with that, man. I've never disagreed with that. You're 100% right on that.
You play stupid games, you're gonna win stupid prizes.
What I'm disagreeing with you on is that these guys aren't going to go away. No matter what rule you come to stop them, they're going to figure out a way around it, and they're going to make the situation worse. Every solution they come up with to try to stop these guys is going to make the situation worse. That's what I'm saying.
And that's fine, but then don't go complaining to the government that you were fucked with because you were trying to fuck with the big boys. Again, don't slap a guy with a gun and then be upset that you got shot.
Yeah, they're doing a lawsuit. They're going to do a class action lawsuit,
Fine.
which I'm okay with.
I'm okay with that. Do a class action lawsuit. You know what? Let them do it. Like this is, again, people are like, oh, Tone, why aren't you profiting from this shit coin that you never heard of? And I'm like, why? Because why? Why am I going to do that? I know how I make money. I mean, I'm not doing much trading, but I always said I'd rather go and trade Apple. Go ahead and try and do this with Apple. They don't have enough money for that. They're doing it with this because it's GameStop, right? NOK, I think, is another one. Like, yeah, there it is. Again, play stupid games. Oh, I love the MRI on this. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Okay.
I don't know. I think Nokia still has a chance to pump.
Sure, but here's it. But I don't care. I don't care that it has a chance to pump. If you
Tone, if I wanted to separate one thing, I have Bitcoin. If I had sold my Bitcoin to go all in on Nokia, I'm a fucking moron. But I didn't do that. I had some money in a friggin' brokerage account, and I threw not all of it, just a small piece of it to Nokia. I don't think I'm stupid for doing that. I'm like, you know what? And if it goes to zero, so what? I lost a couple thousand. It's not going to wreck me. Who cares?
Look, again, I'm going to go back. People wanted to buy GameStop and they couldn't. That is correct. Because at some point, the job of both the financial regulators and the brokers is to allow for an orderly market. Now, you can say that you can make the argument that GameStop being shorted at 150% is manipulation. But look at the stock. Just look at the stock. I'm going to take away the indicator. Look at the stock before Wall Street Bets decided to do what they did. Here's the stock. This is
I'm stepping away from the computer for a second. I'll be right back.
Okay. Guys, look at the stock, okay? The stock was at $57. The stock had fallen to $5. Do you think this stock fell because Wall Street was shorting it? Or do you think this stock fell because GameStop was being a shitty company? I will bet you whatever you want that GameStop was a shitty company between 2014 and 2019. That's why the stock was falling. When the stock is falling, people profit from this stock by shorting the stock, okay? This, to me, looks like a pretty orderly chart. This is the 2008 bubble. Everything went up. Smartphones just came out. GameStop was doing well. We had a crash. GameStop started doing well again. And then the online world took over. So you can't make me an argument that GameStop had an irregular market before, and this is the true, valid market as to how GameStop is supposed to behave. So at some point, the brokers, the regulators are going to step in to try and create a regulated market. And if the way they step in to create a regulated market means a retail investor cannot buy GameStop, then that is what they will do, and that is what they have done. And I don't have a problem with this. I'm sorry you are upset that I don't have a problem with this. I'm sorry that you are upset that I have not seen the inner workings of Tether to say that it's definitely a scam. I have not seen the evidence. But I saw the evidence of election fraud. I have eyes. Okay? I saw the evidence. I watched it.
Jesus Christ. Here we go.
All right.
JR is
Yeah. I probably have like a million questions, and I was
there's some questions, a couple of good ones.
I need to go look at venues for unconfiscatable here in my.
All right, well, let me quickly read.
This was
There's
not
a couple
supposed
of
to be
really
how
good
it's
ones.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Okay, so I want to ask this one because it's from Fibbo Swanee. Well, where is it? Okay, here it is. So he says, learn what Melvin did with the gamma squeeze. Great lesson. So I don't know if you can translate that.
I don't know what that means.
A gamma, like gamma. No, that's theta. Never mind. Okay, so so decentralized for €2 says now those with boys are pumping our lovely Doge. Okay, thanks for the comment. Luca Bora with the super chat says tone for free speech, but not for the ability to do whatever you want with your money. Yet as an advocate for Bitcoin, LOL. I'm just reading the super chats right now, and if I see any good questions, here's another one by Fibbo.
No, let's back up. No, that's a good comment, right?
Yeah.
Look, I am for the ability to do whatever you want with your money. I am.
There's a lot of comments exactly like that.
Yeah. I am for the ability. You should be able to do whatever you want with your money. But at the same time, if I am responsible for a company that allows people to use their money on that company, and I know what's happening is pure bullshit, I have a responsibility to the users of my company to stop their transactions. Now, again, I'm specifically saying bullshit. Now, this doesn't mean I agree with the banks. Like every time I do a wire transfer, I got to go through fucking hell. Okay? They're not letting me spend my money as I want. But they have no evidence of fuckery. They're just assuming, if they don't know what this transaction is, they're assuming it's illicit. Okay?
Yes.
My point is this. If you have a decentralized platform like Bitcoin, Bitcoin allows you to spend your money in any way that you like. But this, going back to GameStop, and there are subtleties here that you may have to think about some more. This has gone way past a statement. And this has gone into the ridiculousness of gambling through Reddit and Discord and just fucking with money and companies. And if I run a company that allows you to buy into this stock, and this could endanger my entire company, I'm going to stop you from trading this stock because now you're also fucking with my business. Okay. Maybe one day we'll have decentralized markets. I'm also against people printing their own money. So maybe one day all assets of all companies will be traded on a decentralized Bitcoin network. And then no one will be able to stop you. Okay. And that's fine. But if I'm running a brokerage, fuck yeah, I'm not going to let people just gamble away, or I'm going to raise their requirements. Prove to me that you're not a 19-year-old with $3,000. You prove that to me, I'll let you trade GameStop. Otherwise, go trade more. What? How did I get there? Otherwise, go trade more companies that are not trading in a way that's being fucked with.
Tone, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So Fibbo sent a couple of comments talking about this gamma squeeze by Melvin Capital. And I think because Fibbo's saying it, I think we should explore this a little bit further. I am at the R options Reddit. Maybe I can share my screen and show what the R options Reddit is saying. Maybe you can, because you're an options expert, maybe you can look at this.
Oh man, I got a comment on another one. Someone's like, how is this risking the exchange? Well, your exchange could be overwhelmed with all the volume that's going through, and your exchange could go down. Your servers could go down, and then a lot of people will lose money on all their other stocks that they have. See, people think that they are the only one in this world, right? Like, look, like what happened with BitMax? Did their servers go down or did they pull the plug? Some people say one thing, some people say another, right? The point is, this stock alone, if every single person if everyone right now that's watching this YouTube channel goes to my website at the same time, my server might go down. I don't know how much bandwidth my personal server can handle, right? I can be DDoS attacked, right? But if that server is responsible for billions and billions of dollars of people's trading positions all around the world, and my server isn't capable of handling, like I'm a broker. I'm a small broker, okay? And I'm a small broker. I have 1,000 traders on my brokerage site. And so my server is designed to handle a certain amount of traffic. Why am I gonna waste money having a server that can handle 10 million users when I only have 1,000 users? And all of a sudden, 10 million people want to open a brokerage account with me and go to my website at the same time.
People understand that point. We understand, servers can be overwhelmed and DDoS attacks and things like that, and liquidations that can affect people who aren't even in the trade. So you're threatening the solvency of the exchange.
Right. And if the exchange decides my exchange can go down, I will be sued. I could have to pay back all these other people that couldn't exit their Apple stock. No one's going to complain if they made money when my server went down, but everyone is going to want a refund on all the money that they might have lost if my server goes down. So yeah, I'm going to stop retail traders to save my business. And I have the right to do that because otherwise I could be broke. I could be in prison. I could lose my business. Okay. So no, I don't have a problem with Robinhood shutting this shit down for retail investors.
All right. So can I show my screen? I want to show that gamma squeeze on GME.
Yeah. Let me give you a screen share.
What's that?
Yeah. Let me give you a screen share.
Okay. And I'm asking this because we both have respect for Fibbo Swani. So let's see. This is probably not what he had in mind, but I want to show it anyway. Let's see.
Oh, sorry, 1 second. Someone says the question. So being a 19-year-old with $3,000 wanting to invest in stocks makes you a gambler. Not necessarily, but investing in this stock Fuck
Yes.
yes, it makes
No.
you a gambler, right? This is the difference that you don't get. Not everything in this world is equal.
No,
Yes,
we
you can
get
be a
that, Tone.
you can be a responsible 19-year-old trading stocks, but there's no way you can tell me a responsible 19-year-old with $3,000 to his name who started trading this week and the stock he's trading is GameStop is a responsible trader.
That playing poker after you've read a few poker books is not the same as playing roulette. You know, I get the difference. Hold on, I'm sharing my screen right now. All right, so can you see this? It says GME gamma squeeze, short squeeze. Can you see that?
Sure.
Right here.
Okay. So let's read this. See what it says.
Okay. Do you want to read it?
Right. So this is coming from Dr. Pee Pee Poop, and this is who you're taking advice from.
3 days ago. This is 3 days ago. So this is not from today or yesterday. This is from 3 days ago, and it's not on our Wall Street Bets. It's on our options.
Sure. Just out of curiosity, and since Wall Street Bets would probably flame the shit out of me. Okay, I don't know what that means, but sure. So Friday, GME had a gamma squeeze, which resulted in all calls being in the money. Okay, let me think about that. So all calls being in the money. Okay, got it. After market closed, they added strike prices beyond $60 all the way to 115. Okay, makes sense. As of right now, the stock is bordering around 98. Okay. At PM or even when the market opens, are there going to be strike prices even further out of the money than 115, maybe to like 200? Probably. Having said this, wouldn't this result in another gamma squeeze? Since I know call sellers will have to hedge by buying more shares, but it would only drive up share prices, which also make more calls in the money. All right, that one might have to read again.
Well, I think gamma squeeze just means short squeeze based on what we just read. That's what.
I mean, look, a gamma is the second derivative of the gamma is the derivative of the delta, and the delta is the change in the price of your option with every dollar of the change of the price of the underlying. So gamma doesn't go above 0.25. I'm not exactly sure what he means by a gamma squeeze, but
I'll stop share unless you need this.
No, I still need it.
Wait, it says Melvin right here.
What's up?
Say on the bottom, on the last line, it says hoping. Hold on. Like literally, is a positive feedback loop until someone ends up bag holding at some ridiculous amount. Hoping for it to be Melvin, though, not some poor idiot who YOLO'd their life savings, took on debt. So he's hoping that whoever ends up holding the bag when this thing finally ends.
Well, again, trading shouldn't be about hope. Right? But
he's not in the trade. He's looking at it, I guess.
All right. So let's go take a look at what strikes exist. So if you stop your screen share, I'll go to my screen share. By the way, no one necessarily has to be holding the bag. It's possible, but options, you can hedge options. Again, this is why I teach a course on options. Yeah, if you're interested in the course
recommend
on
that
options,
course.
it's right there. Patrick, you've been in the course.
Yeah, it's an awesome course. I learned some things about options that I did not know from taking your course. It was amazing. Now I feel like I know them a lot better than I used to.
Yeah, for sure. So we're gonna do a search. We're gonna go to Options Industry Council. Sure, just gone straight there. Option quotes. We're gonna do. Oh no, it's right there. We're gonna do a search. Crap. We're gonna do a search. We're gonna do a search for GME. All right, here we go. We're gonna look at. Let's look at February expiration. That's the one coming up. February 19. That's the next nearest one. We're gonna look at them all. We're gonna look at calls and puts, and we'll see what we got. So these strikes will probably go all the way up to 570. Okay, so here are your strikes. Because I can also write an option as long as it's hedged. I write options all the time. Look, if you want to buy, you can do a covered call on it, right? But you have a problem. See, you may not be able to buy stock right now, but you might be able to buy an option right now. Not that I'm recommending that. We can also take a look at right there, open interest. It seems that everyone has piled into the calls at $320. Oh, here's one more. A lot of option activity at 200. Okay. So you can see it here. Oh, here's another one. 100. It makes sense. People love round numbers. Okay. So the person's questions, I don't think they really make sense. But look, the options are there to provide a more orderly market. But the GameStop is going nuts right now. That's the implied volatility. If I spent all day, could I come up with an option strategy that I think would make me money? Maybe, probably. But I don't really want to spend the rest of my day doing that. Look, some people have this desire to be the richest person in the world. And could I have spent this entire week looking at option strikes, trying to come up with a strategy that would make me a lot of money? Probably. Would it have made me a lot of money? I would bet on me that I would make a lot of money trading options in this. But at the same time, I would rather go and look at a venue to bring unconfiscatable conference to Miami, because I can't do both. I could either start gambling on GME, or I could go look at venues, or I could go to, cool parties like you saw that I was at on Twitter, and meet cool people and have a good steak.
Tone, is there any chance, I don't know if this is what Fiboswani was trying to say, but is there any chance that hedge funds were reading Wall Street Bets and they're the ones who did 90% of this and made a bunch of money, and the Wall Street Bets are the ones getting the blame?
Of course it's possible. Look, anything's possible. I teach responsible trading. And what responsible trading means to me, it means learning how to build your own trading strategy. This could be fundamental analysis strategy like Willie Wu does, technical analysis strategy like I teach. And then you try to trade the most, now I don't want to say we're regulated. Then you want to try to trade the most orderly market that also has enough volatility. So it's orderly, but it actually, fluctuates. Which is why in the crypto space, the only asset I would ever trade is Bitcoin. Maybe I would trade Ethereum. It is liquid enough, but I don't believe in the underlying of Ethereum. But is the market of Ethereum liquid enough for trading? The answer is yes. Is there anything else in crypto that is liquid enough for trading? I'm going to say no. Not even Doge. I don't think it has it's just too easy to, and I don't like the word manipulate, but we can use the word manipulate. Everything else is too easy to manipulate. This is why I don't like to trade penny stocks. I don't. GameStop was on the border of being a penny stock. Have I traded $2, $3 stocks? Yes. I was doing very well with covered calls last year. I was doing incredibly well. Riot Blockchain made me a bunch of money in covered calls. So other like pharmaceuticals did as well. And I was using $5 and under stocks. They were just amazing. I was getting like 20, 30% on my option sales against these $4 or $5 stocks. How do you pass that up? So I'm not doing that right now. I'm a little too busy with other stuff. But people have to decide what they're trading. And I'm not saying Wall Street is right, but I'm just warning people that if you think you're going to take on Goliath, you're not going to have a very easy time. You might win, but you will probably lose.
So one of the questions I can debunk myself, but it's Ethan guy. He says that the problem is it's not a trading stop, it's a buy stop. But I don't believe that's true. I think it's you're allowed to exit your position, but you can't start a new position.
Correct. They should always allow you to exit your position.
Right. So that's not true, Ethan guy.
He's saying that's not true.
No, he's saying the problem is that they're not letting you buy, but they're letting you sell. That's what he's saying.
But again, like
debunk that.
The word when you say it's a problem, it's debatable. I don't think it's a problem because if I ran an exchange, that's what I would do. I would not let, investors or would not let traders on my platform. It's kind of like
if you were short, they would allow you to buy. That's my point. They would allow you to buy if you were short to close your position.
No, they will always let you exit your position.
So you can still buy, but only if you're closing your short position.
Right. If you're going to short your close, they'll let you buy it. If you're closing your short, they'll let you exit.
Right. So
they'll let you exit.
I'm trying to say, I'm agreeing with you on that one, Tony. I'm saying Ethan's wrong when he says that.
They'll let you exit.
Yeah. Mad Max, thank you so much for the super chat. He says Tone is right. Mehmet says, hey, Tone, focus on your purpose. By the way, will the MRI have the original price in February? And then he says something which I'm not going to repeat.
Yeah, I'm gonna raise the price of the MRI sometime in February. Maybe not the first week of February, but it's coming. So get out of the way.
Looks like, yeah, sorry.
Well, not the original price. Sorry, I'm not gonna take it back to 0.05 BTC. It's gonna be I'm gonna probably double it to 1,000, so it'll still be a 33% discount that it otherwise would be right now.
And then Mad Max gave another. I don't know if it's the same one or if it's another $5 super chat. So thank you. And then Luca Bomba super chat says, Tone, talking about evidence, yet last couple of months is convinced elections are stolen. Okay, thanks for the comment. I don't think we need to delve into that. And Fibbo, over and over again, this was a well thought out gamma squeeze. He's saying that it's legit. So it's like he's not saying that this is stupid money. There was smart money in here. Obviously there was smart money at the beginning, at least.
Again, I don't see how that disagrees with what I said. Like there was a week of, legitimate, like a legitimate play. But you can't tell me that what happened the last 4 days is legitimate.
Tone, I'm giving you a super chat just to give you the key word to understand what is going on. Naked shorting. Melvin almost went bankrupt. They got a $2.75 billion bailout from 2 other hedge funds. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's the rumor anyway.
Okay, well, good. I mean, statement made, but again, I don't understand how you're blaming the hedge fund. People, regulators and brokers that allowed the hedge fund to be put in this position should be held legally liable because they probably broke some rules.
What's stupid? What the guys on Wall Street Bets are doing, or what Occupy Wall Street was doing? I'm telling you, Wall Street Bets is a friggin' genius compared to Occupy Wall Street. And they both had the same complaint. They were both complaining about Wall Street. One guys were a bunch of bums living in a camp on Wall Street, and the other one said, you know what, let's make money on this. I don't think it's as stupid as you're saying.
Well, I'm not saying what Wall Street Bets did was stupid. I'm saying people piggybacking on what they did are idiots. If you're late to the party, you're late to the party. Because Wall Street is going to fight back. If you were on those original threads, then yeah, you probably made money and you made a statement. But if you're late into the game, you're going to lose money and then you're going to be upset and using the disguise of it was a statement, but the exchange cheated me out of it. Again, if you play stupid games, you're going to win stupid prizes. This is also why I don't participate in shitcoin trading. Because unless you're in that pump group in early on, pumping a coin that has no fucking value, you can make money on that. I don't want to participate in that. I would not have participated in the if I knew about Wall Street Bet's plan, if I was paying attention to that Reddit, I still would not have participated because I don't want to participate in this stuff. I want to trade my expertise, and my expertise are orderly markets. I like to trade stuff that I can have an advantage in trading, and that advantage is statistical and technical analysis. And I can't use my advantage of statistics, technical analysis, and risk management in this situation. And most people can't. And that's why I advise people to stay away from any asset that Wall Street Bets is trying to fuck with, because that is not your expertise.
Nobody wants to be a part of a pump and dump group, but a lot of people, very few people want to be part of a pump and dump group, but a lot of people will gladly sign up to be part of a movement. And I think that this isn't a typical pump and dump group. This is like a movement. These people are committed to what they're doing, I think.
All right, I want to read a super chat comment. I proudly support Wall Street Bets. It's not about making money. No, it is about making money.
That's what I'm saying. If it's only about making money, then it's pointless. But if it's about, we're going to take down the man, you can get people involved with it.
Right. It is about making money. It's not only about making money, but it's mostly about making money. And it's not mostly about principles. It is mostly about making money. And it's mostly about using principles as a cover for making the money. Retail should be able to play the same game as large hedge funds. Retail should be able to play by the same rules as large hedge funds. Now, large hedge funds broke some rules by being able to be over 100% short a stock. And clearly they paid for it, as this one hedge fund almost went down because of Wall Street Bets. I don't have a problem with Wall Street Bets. I'm just telling you that I am not going to participate. It's like, I don't have a problem with marijuana, but I don't smoke weed. And some people have a problem with the fact that I don't smoke weed. I can be in support of legalizing drugs and not participate in drugs. And I don't have a problem with Wall Street Bets, but I don't participate, and I advise you not to participate. Did I have a problem with the storming of the Capitol? If you saw my video, I did not have a problem with the storming of the Capitol, but I did not do it. I was there. I was on the outside filming it. And I was saying, well, this is, and then people are like, I remember like some freaking communist on TV, most of them actually, they're like, this is the Capitol building. This isn't like, what do you call them? Rioting, looting. This is not like looting Walmart. This is 1,000 times worse storming into the Capitol. No, looting Walmart is 100 times worse than storming the Capitol, because you don't own Walmart. It's private property, but you do own the Capitol building if you pay your taxes. Okay, so no, storming the Capitol is significantly better than looting Walmart. You don't have a right to steal someone else's property. That's moral. But no, you do own the Capitol building as a taxpayer.
Look, Tone, we got him scared, dude. We got him scared, and this isn't going to end with what happened today. And we're going to be seeing more and more stuff like this, progressively being more and more shocking. There's going to be, people are sick and tired. They know that the system is rigged against them. You know, like how Max Kaiser always is. This is going to continue, and it's going to go to Bitcoin. And hopefully these guys realize that as long as you're using their money, they still got you. And hopefully they figure out to switch to Bitcoin.
Look, is the game rigged against the small investor when he's going up against a hedge fund? Of course it is. But you are not trading at the same level as a hedge fund. I don't have a problem with hedge funds. because the amount of money that I trade, I'm not competing in the same arena as them.
I'm not talking about just the hedge funds. I'm talking about the Fed. I'm talking about the government. I'm talking about all of it. All these movements, Black Lives Matter, the storming of the Capitol, Antifa, Wall Street bets, Bitcoin. People don't realize it yet, but it's the same fucking revolution. And people don't know it yet. As soon as people realize that it's all part of the same revolution, it's over. It's over.
I know, but there's like, it's like two revolutions are happening at the same time. You have the communist revolution that's happening right now. And people like, I'll say it, people like Proud Boys are trying to fight against the communist revolution. And for somehow, they're the domestic terrorists.
And there's people who hate both the Proud Boys and Antifa. And they're part of the revolution too. And there's people who hate both sides, like libertarians. Libertarian groups don't like the Proud Boys and they don't like Antifa, but you know, they're also part of the revolution.
People are saying, Tone, do I own the school my kids go to? You do. You pay for it with your taxes. I'm not saying you have to loot the property in that school, but you did pay for that property in that school. So yes, if the parents aren't happy with the school, they have a lot. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just saying that if the parents whose kids go to a certain school wanted to storm that school and, you know, cause some havoc, they have a lot more right to do it than all those parents storming into Walmart and looting Walmart. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that one you own and one you don't. I mean, you have the right to destroy your own TV. You own your TV, but you don't have. But I don't think you have the right to walk into your neighbor's home and destroy his TV.
So what do you want to do? You want to go look for venues?
No, you can get it. Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta run and check a venue.
All right, guys, I'm gonna drop out. So peace out. I'll talk to you later, Tom.
I'm gonna pull up the price of Bitcoin one more time because I'm curious.
I'm gonna be on another live stream later on tonight with Bitcoin Magazine, so you guys can catch me there at 7:00 Eastern tonight. So I'm gonna be.
All right, look, we're still going up on Bitcoin. I want to see what happens. We're now above the moving averages. We did this recently. I want to see what happens when we hit the top of the triangle. This is my new line in the sand before a bull market happens. And if we get rejected at the top of the triangle, the line will move to here. But then if we go below the triangle, shit can hit the fan. So we're coming to an apex here very, very soon. All right, guys, I got to get to a venue. I got no work done while I was here because of the live stream, which is unfortunate. There may or may not be a video tomorrow. I don't know. But I needed to make it clear to people that you're not making a statement this late in the game. It's over. If you wanted to make a statement with GameStop, where the hell is that chart? If you wanted to make a statement with GameStop, should have done it earlier, because here it's who knows what's going to happen. Who knows what's going to happen? So no, I don't feel sorry for people that went in gambling. Like, it's whatever. I stayed away from it. I always stay away from this shit. And that's how I never get wrecked, because I stay away from this shit. And hopefully you will as well in the future. All right, guys. I will talk to you all on the next one.